Plus has 2 to 7 players racing to count shapes and colors. Stuff by Bez provided this in exchange for an honest review. One player is the judge. Once every player is ready, the judge will flip one card. Players use the card atop the deck to note they're counting on the revealed card. Circles, triangles, circles and crosses, only red shapes, and so on. When you think you have the right answer, slap the card and shout. The judge only cares about the first answer. If you are correct, you gain the card and now you're the judge. That's it. Judge flips, people slap an answer. When you gain a card, all future answers need to consider the revealed card and every card you have collected in earlier rounds. Yep, the better you do at this game, the harder it is. So why do you want cards? Well, the first person to gain 5 cards wins. There's something else to keep in mind. If you answered incorrectly, you slapped too early, or you shouted the wrong number, you lose all the cards gained. The other way the game ends is if the deck runs out. If this happens, the player with the most cards wins. There's a tiebreaker and a 2-player variant, but this overview gives you an idea as to how the game works. Be the first to count the number of shapes on the flipped card, but don't forget the cards in front of you. That's plus. Plus takes up very little space. Even 6 people could play around a large coffee table. This game could be over very quickly or go on a surprisingly long time for something so simple. Expect 10 to 15 minutes on average, give or take. There's no math or reading, and rules are simple as they come. As soon as the kid can count to 10 or so, they can play this. In our first game of Plus, Bez taught us the game at Essen Spiel 2019. I'll talk about this in my likes and dislikes, but my poor dad was getting lightheaded and weird. He didn't do so well. I'll talk about this more soon. I kept gaining and losing cards, and Mom and Bez pushed each other for the win. It was a cool experience, and anyone could have won, except for Dad, of course. In the end, Bez won. It was a really cool experience. Plus is colorblind friendly because of the simple color scheme and shapes. This is a nice touch, and it makes explaining the game a snap. Because it's small, pretty quick, and easy to teach and learn, it's good to bring with you to play with people of all ages and game experience. This might only affect my dad, but this color combination seems to really mess with him. He gets lightheaded and dizzy, and I feel bad for him. It doesn't help that the art is super scratchy. He explained to us that he sees the scratchy lines, angles, and zigzags all over the white cards. If the photos we included earlier in the video cause visual problems for you too, skip this. With that said, I like that the shapes are in different locations on the card. You have to quickly scan all over that card, then jump to yours. It makes things more interesting than if they were in the same spots on every card depending on their type. This isn't a brain burner with loads of meaningful choices and decisions. Honestly, there's really only one, shout a number or not. It doesn't just depend on if you know the answer. If nobody's in a position to win, why risk losing all of your cards? Let someone else do that, then hope the next card is simpler so you can snap it up. Because you become the judge when you win, you have no chance of winning on the next turn. What if you're now tied for the lead thanks to that card you won? Your rival gets to guess the card you put out. In other words, winning punishes you. A funny thing we talked about in Q&A is to put this rule in basketball. Imagine if the team leading in the 4th quarter can't take a shot until the other team takes the lead. What if they took the lead with a basket at the buzzer? I know it's a catch-up mechanism and also prevents someone really good at counting from winning every card in a row, but I don't like it. I have a sensory disorder and react really poorly to loud noises that surprise me. This game doesn't bother me because I expect the table slamming and yelling, but people more sensitive could have issues. If you like silly, frantic party games, Plus could be a good fit for you. I think it works best with 4 or more people, so keep that in mind. Some people might and will hate this, so make sure everyone in your group knows what they're getting into before you pick this up.